Members of academic debate teams from the Boston Public Schools will spend another session on April 1st in the City Council chamber. Invited by Councilor Charles Yancey, the students will address a topic that's being decided at the State House, whether to increase the minimum wage. To tell us about the event and the importance of debating in the Boston Public Schools are two guests, and they're both alumni of the Boston Debate League, and one's currently a political science major at Merrimack College, Taushawn Tinsley, and also with us, and he's currently a freshman at Harvard, Ted White. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you, Chris.
I want to start with Taushawn. I mean, a lot of people, I suppose, in the home or in the neighborhood, we get into debate. Sometimes we have arguments. So, how did you go from that to getting involved in a debate league?
Well, first, I was prompted by my teachers in high school. Now that I'm a junior in college, it's a little different. In high school, I was told by my teachers that it'd be something that I'd feel comfortable with. I felt comfortable with the first time I did it, and it was really amazing. For myself, I feel like me pushing myself to be better at debate, doing more, is probably kept me going throughout high school.
But you say you feel comfortable. I mean, if I were up against somebody who had prepared and they're very bright, they're aggressive, that would make me feel comfortable. So why did you feel comfortable?
Because for me, I'm already aggressive. I feel as though I'm faster than most people. I can think faster. I can be faster if I tell myself I can. I always have that mentality. I've been doing that with me and my debate partner before. I've been doing it with me and my parents at home. I've been doing it with friends. It's just, I put myself in their position and in that place, and I always make myself better on that point.
Ted, what about you? How did you get started on this?
It was actually, when I went into high school, my sister, she was on the debate team, and she was one of like 4 people on New Mission High School's debate team. And she told me, she didn't ask me, she said, "You're joining this team, and you're going to debate." And at first, it took me by surprise, because I was a really shy person. It's like talking in front of people about a topic I didn't really understand. That's not my thing, I can't do it. My first tournament, I was nervous as all heck, and everything from then on, just like, it was great. It was just like an overall great experience.
So how did you overcome that part about being nervous?
I guess it was just like, when I was in middle school, I was really, really competitive because I enjoyed doing sports. I loved playing baseball, basketball with my friends and stuff, and I always had this competitive spirit. When I went into debate, even though it was something I was really uncomfortable with, that competitive spirit still stuck with me. And when it comes to like whether you want to win or lose, like that competitive spirit kicks in, and it just kept telling me to improve further on, and like it didn't let me quit.
Well, that's interesting. So it made you want to improve because when I think of my own fears of ever debating, is that I don't know much about this or that topic. So who am I to be having an argument about it with somebody who maybe knows what they're doing?
Yeah, that's true. It also, like, for me, it also like sparks some type of like interest in like a field that you really have no idea that you would be interested in. Like when I went into high school, I would not expect like wanting to like learn more about politics and stuff. At the end of my senior year, I love politics. I'm going to actually major in government in college, like in my future years. It's something that I never thought that I would like actually want to do.
Taushawn, what about you? Did this debating experience change your goals?
Definitely. I wanted to be an English teacher before because I was impacted by one of my 9th grade teachers. But then as I progressed, I decided that when I went to school, I would change from English to political science, and I've loved it so far. I've never gone back. I haven't looked back since.
So where do you hope that will take you?
Right now, I'm interning at the State House with Representative Gloria Fox. So I'm trying to figure out, what I want to do. I'm still on the fence about what I should do. Either I should do the private sector or should be a public servant. It doesn't matter to me as long as I'm helping my own community.
Ted, this event on April 1st is going to be in the City Council chamber. Now, I know you've debated in other rooms. Some of them are just normal classrooms, maybe even cafeterias. So how is this different?
So I was actually in the debate that we had in the City Council chambers last year, and it was an experience beyond belief. In policy debate, what we do is we try to simulate how policymakers enact laws and try to pass laws. We try to convince the judge that's in front of us why you should go with our position. And actually to step foot on a policy-making like floor is just unbelievable. It was an experience I never like believed that I would have, and it was just an overall great like time that I had.
Taushawn, debating has really grown in the Boston schools. So this is not just something that only a few elite students can handle.
Back in 2005, the debate league started with only a few students. Last year they had 611 students, and this year they've grown to 840 students participating from all of the high schools that we have in the Boston Public Schools. And also they branched out to the middle school level too as well. They've given a few middle schools time to debate, and they've excelled at it as well.
We should put in a word here. I think Counselor Yancey was instrumental in
He was. There's a story behind it too. His chief of staff, Ms. Leonard Frazier, asked me what I do on occasion, and I told her, Boston, I do the debate league. And we brought the debate league in, we talked to them, and she said she loved it. So we had the first Boston City Council Boston Debate League tournament there at the City Council, and it was amazing. It came out really well.
Ted, with all of these additional students debating and with more teachers in the school system learning how to coach and maybe even mentor them, I think that must have some sort of spillover into even just what goes on in normal classrooms with other students.
Yeah, it really does. I know one experience that I had in participating in the Boston Debate League is that it's far beyond just the tournaments that you do. When I started participating in debate, I became an overall great student compared to how I was just like an average student. And these qualities that you get from taking part in policy debate can really transfer over into, like, you can argue better in an essay, you can participate more in class because you have the confidence to do so. You can better articulate the position that you have on a certain issue, as well as you have the flexibility to talk about issues you have no idea that, like, you would be able to debate. And it's these qualities, like, can form a really good student. And I know in my classrooms over at New Mission High School, there was a really high, like, debate presence there, because a whole lot of kids in my class, like, joined our debate team, and we all had that same, like, mentality of, like, being able to talk about these certain issues inside the classroom, and it made just the classroom function overall better.
Taushawn, briefly, the time of this event?
It's on April 1st. From 5:30 to 7 at the City Council chambers on the 5th floor of the City Hall.
Thank you both very much, Taushawn Tinsley and Ted White.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have sports up ahead with Pat Flaherty.